Metal Up World, this is CJ with cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on what to do when you are feeling low. Now, this is all being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program, and you can learn more about that if you visit the link below. But all this week, what to do when you are feeling down. Now, this is all too common. If I were to post this on my Facebook business page, I would get plenty of response because it's something that we all go through. I think everybody would raise their hand where they asked, have you ever felt low? Now, I need to differentiate this, and maybe you need to differentiate this from full-on depression. When I talk about things like feeling down, melancholy, loneliness, sadness, etc., I will often hear from those who are battling with severe cases of depression. Now, it's important that we are clear that I'm not referring to that. Obviously, those sorts of things may require more extreme treatment, okay? I understand about the chemical aspect to things. I do not deny that. I do not make little of that. I think it is one of the most debilitating things to go through. I have been through it. I have been through things that I never thought were ever imaginable. And when I came out of that season many years ago, I left with a tremendous respect for anyone who says that they deal with severe anxiety or severe depression. It is nothing to make light of. It is not something you just metal up and get over. It is very, very severe. So I want to be sure that we differentiate between when I say what to do when you're feeling down from what we're referring to as manic depression or severe depression, whatever name you want to put on it. But when I say feeling down, feeling low, it's something that we all go through, separated from severe cases of depression and anxiety. And feeling low is, there can be any number of reasons for why you might feel the way that you feel. In the days in which we live, diet and nutrition is really coming to the forefront as a major cause behind a lot of our psychological and emotional and physical issues. I've learned more about health than I've probably wanted to know over the past few years. And I'm very, very engaged in my nutrition and health and have been for some time now. And it has made tremendous changes in my life. And in all honesty, I can't really help someone in any capacity if they are not willing to put the time into diet and nutrition. The attachment between our physical bodies, how we feel physically, and then how we feel emotionally you can't separate them. When your body is running on sugar and you're carrying excessive weight and your cortisol is high and your insulin resistance is high, your blood sugars are skyrocketing, that is going to affect you in more ways than you can imagine. You're not getting any sleep. You're feeling sluggish throughout the day. You can't think, you've got brain fog, you think there's something else wrong with you that could be easily remedied if you would simply stop eating the way that you eat. I know you hate being told that, but I'm sorry. We can all get to that point where we have created our own life, we've made our own bed, and we want everybody to pat us on the back, and we want everybody to tell us that everything's going to be okay, and, you tried, and you just made a few mistakes. Anything that we do to dress up our bullshit, all of that, fine. You want empathy? Here's your little pat on the back. You want empathy? Here's the little wiping of your nose. Now that we've got that out of the way, what are you going to do to change it? Because this is the only life that you've got. And you can't separate the body from the mind and the emotions. So how you treat yourself physically is going to be imperative to how you feel overall. So for me, just as a foundation, we've all got to get healthy. When it comes to what to do when you're feeling down, the first thing I would do with somebody is get them on a right eating plan, and then I would get them physically training. Now, we're going to talk more in this series about other things that you might think would be the kind of things I would talk about on a subject like this. But like I said, I've learned so much about health and nutrition that I honestly can't recommend to somebody that they're going to be able to have some real breakthroughs in their life if they don't get their health in order. You just have to. You've got to get your health in order. You'd be amazed at how many things you're dealing with now that you think are serious ailments, serious problems that would literally disappear if you would cut out the carbs, cut out the sugar, eat more vegetables, eat healthier food, and start some rigorous training, man. Get that heart rate up, get those muscles moving, do something. And it would do tremendous things for the way that you feel overall emotionally, your stress level, the way you handle anxiety. And we can get into, the depression and anxiety at that point. You'd have a hell of a lot easier time managing those severe cases of depression and anxiety if you changed your diet and nutrition. It doesn't fix it, okay? It does not fix it. It does not cure it. But it definitely gives you a very, very strong upper hand because you're changing so much about the way you feel because you can't separate the body from the mind and the emotions. So, the first thing I would tell somebody what to do when they're feeling down is to get your health and your nutrition under control. And it's tough because we think we can't do this. It's tough because we think we can't break these habits. We think we've got to have this, or oftentimes we don't understand what good nutrition is. We think, that the low-fat salad dressing is actually good for us. We think eating these low-fat cookies are good for us. No, one of the worst things that you can do is eat low-fat. Because that means it's full of carbs and sugar. It's carbs and sugar that are destroying our bodies. That's what's wreaking havoc on people. We got more people that are pre-diabetic now, full-on diabetic. Obesity is at alarming rates. No wonder people feel like crap. No wonder they're down. No wonder they're struggling. Then you add to it just where culture is going right now with just materialism and egotism and self-centeredness and all of these other things. People are confused by what's happening in the world. They're scared to death because of all the, the shootings and the terrorism and the war and the threat of recession and all of these things. Man, it will just make you feel down. So you've got to be able to get the upper hand. And the first step is getting control of every aspect of your body, man. Your body and your mind and your emotions. You've got to govern these things. You've got to discipline yourself. You've got to, man, get serious about guarding your domain, guarding your little domain. No one's going to do it for you, man. You've got to do it yourself. And so we're going to talk a whole lot about this. And, it's going to be strengthening, I think. It's going to, because we're going to get into the other stuff. I'm not going to talk more about nutrition in the rest of the series. We're going to talk more about some of the other things. And I think it's going to be powerful, and I think it's going to be encouraging, and I think it's going to lift you up, and I think it's going to build you up. But that's the purpose of what I do in this Life Domination online coaching program. So if you'd like to see the rest of these videos, as well as have access, and I mean immediate access, to my vault of over 550 videos that we have done in the Life Domination coaching group, you can have access to all of it and all future videos and get to interact with us and in a private Facebook group, which is pretty badass. I administrate the group, so you and I get to spend time together. We do all kinds of stuff in there. We share diets. We share stories. People talk about their challenges. We ask questions. We encourage each other. We empower each other. All in a private Facebook group filled with people just like you, motivated people that want to change their life. And like I said, it's something that I administrate. That's where the videos are shown. I always show the first episode of each series for free to give you a taste of what we're doing. But I encourage you to join. It's easy to do, and it's super, super cheap. So visit the link below to find out more about that. Metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.